One question for the police, Councilman Dennis is right behind. So I'm gonna, we're gonna open that kind of up for those who want to stay to ask him some questions.
We'd like to know about the bylaw.
Any questions?
I'll ask Carol later.
Oh, hold on, come on, I didn't see you. You want to
Hey guys, how you doing? Oh wow, so great seeing such great people from University City. I remember, my name is Joe Adams, for those who don't know me. Some people say I used to be the mayor of this town. I forget now. I'm your state rep now, and your state representative. And I used to come to third ward meetings when invited, and sometimes not even when invited. And also the police focus group. I mean, those are some great organizations. Now, I like to take some credit for some things. I was the one who stole an idea and brought it to University City for the Citizens Police Academy. And I want to tell you, Captain Jackson was assigned to it. She took it and ran, and she made it something else. And I can never thank her enough for what she has done for the citizens of this community, this entire community, not just necessarily the Third Ward. But I thought it was very important for people to understand what our policemen do, what they have to do, and how to communicate and get citizens involved. Anyway, as I said, I do have some stuff in the back in case you're interested. I think there's still some bags of information, even my cards. I'm glad this meeting was held. Byron called me about it, and there's lots of things I can talk to you about what's going on in Jeff City, what's going to be happening in Jeff City next time, and everything else. The most important piece of legislation that was, well, a lot of important pieces of legislation, but the most dangerous piece of legislation that was passed was a thing called Senate Bill 5. In fact, when it did pass, over my objection and some other objections of some very good people, I even personally wrote the governor a letter telling him to veto it, but he didn't. And I understand why he didn't, though I'm not happy that he didn't. And the one reason why he didn't veto it, because it had one little kernel of information or a piece in there that he wanted. And all the rest of it was absolutely atrocious. And the thing that he wanted was called, and I'm not even happy with that, thing called court reform. And that was because in the aftermath of the incident in Ferguson, that became the cause célèbre of answering the Ferguson question was court reform among Republican legislators for the most part. I never felt that that was the answer. I will tell you, I and a number of other legislators, we did produce some legislation out there to deal with Ferguson and its aftermath and some of the other things that created the issue. Though my bills were assigned to committee, they never had a hearing. And a lot of the bills that were dealing with it never even were assigned to committee. And they believed, and they will tell you, the majority party, that Senate Bill 5 answered Ferguson. Now, for those of you who don't know what Senate Bill 5 did, number one, it singled out St. Louis County. They love you so much down there in Jeff City, they decided they had to give you special legislation. And so it singled out St. Louis County. They decided that what was happening in the state was some cities were getting too much money through traffic fines, which we never did in University City. We don't run speed traps. The only time we ever run speed traps when I was mayor was when citizens asked for it. And then stopping 100% of the people living in the neighborhood. But that's the only time we ever ran speed traps that I know of. it basically said that you can only get, if you live in St. Louis County, revenue from that to equal your budget of 12.5%. But if you live in St. Charles County, you get 20%. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's a city in St. Charles County that really freaked out with that 20%. And that's a city called Forestell. So make sure when you travel on I-70 in West St. Charles County, even though they're selling 20%, you watch yourself. And they freaked out. But there are a lot of other things dealing with that Senate Bill 5. It's going to impact not necessarily University City, but a lot of other police departments. It's going to determine that if they aren't meeting a certain standard, they can be disbanded. Some cities can be disbanded. So there's some bad things out there. Anyway, I just wanted to come. I know Byron's trying to get this moving forward. Do invite me whenever I'm in town. I'll be here, if can be. And I'm glad that this meeting was called. Thank you again, Byron.
I told my wife I was gonna be at home at 8:50. You knew that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Here, Councilman Jennings just walked in. So we're gonna let him go ahead and speak, and then anybody.